While searching for signs of weaponized protomatter, one of our long-distance research probes made a most curious discovery. It found a Class M planet at the heart of the Gonkra Nebula. That's not the most exciting news, however. The probe detected the presence of sentient life on the planet. The biosigns were very similar to our own. It is possible that we have discovered a lost tribe of Lucari. We're going to investigate, and we'd like some backup. The probe went offline rather suddenly after detecting the planet. These people might not be very friendly.
I'm reading a group of starships out there. They're armed, shielded, and combat capable. Let's hope they're not hostile as well. As the ranking officer here, I believe you should be the first to initiate contact.
Thank you. Open hailing frequency comms. No response. Perhaps the nebula is causing interference. Compensating for nebula conditions, Admiral. Still no response.
Perhaps they might respond more favorably to a familiar face. May I open a channel?
It's worth a shot. Proceed.
Unidentified vessels. This is Captain Kumar K. of the LSS Vreskava. I extend cordial greetings in the interest of establishing peaceful contact between us.
Still quiet. Is the Universal Translator online?
I'm not certain. Wait. They're locking weapons.
Red alert. Fire to disable.
I don't understand. The Vreskava did nothing to provoke this attack. Alien vessels. This is Prime Minister Tulaman of the Kantari Union. I've ordered our forces to cease hostilities and ask you to do the same.
This is Admiral Pahar of the USS Sidops. Explain yourself, Prime Minister.
There's been a grave misunderstanding. It is customary for us to discuss such grievances in person. Will you accept my invitation to parley?
Yes. Send us meeting site coordinates. Pahar out.
The Kantari. They survived. Somehow they managed to survive the devastation of Kentar and make it here. Incredible. Historically, Kantari were quick to distrust and attack. It would seem that hasn't changed. We should be cautious. Despite that, I am ready to transport when you are.
Beam down.
By the 14 sacred trees of Lucar. The Kantari destroyed one world with their toxic ways, and it seems they're well on their way to destroy another. Unbelievable. This Prime Minister has much to answer for. Where is she, by the way? And why are we meeting on the street?
I'm wondering about that myself. Message from the Kantari, Admiral. Apparently there was a minor error in the coordinates they provided, resulting in your current situation. Transmitting updated coordinates for the Kantari Capitol building to you now. Shall we beam you to it? Negative. It's not too far from here. We'll go on foot.
That Kantari on the street looks quite ill.
I'm reading extreme levels of toxins in this Kantari's lungs. Without treatment, he will be dead in months.
Reading high levels of toxic chemical emissions in the area. They still use unregulated exhaust systems? Unbelievable. How peculiar. The doors here have built-in filtration systems.
The toxin filters built into this door are substandard at best.
What's that machine off to the side? Some sort of miniature store? It's full of breathing aids. People poison the air here and charge others to withstand it. Does that fluid look off to you?
That drain pipe is leaking acidic fluids with high levels of pollutants.
I've never seen this level of suffering. Oh, they pile the refuse in the streets. It's barbaric. There are still heat signatures on this junk. It was placed here recently.
Kill the Lucari! and her alien lackeys.
I see hatred for Lucari still burns in the hearts of some Kentari, along with violent xenophobia. Hopefully their leadership is of a more diplomatic nature.
Agreed. Let's keep moving. A few pages catch your interest. Which page do you want to read? Economy.
The lunar colony is providing just enough food to support the Kentari population at current consumption levels. The government has launched a new farm labor program aimed at increasing food production and adding new jobs. The program is expected to launch prior to the beginning of the next crop cycle on the colony.
Environment.
The structural integrity of several housing blocks has been called into question by independent analysts. Ministers of the building authority deny any cause for concern as tower extension projects aimed at elevating the blocks above the smog level have commenced.
Science.
The smog sickness epidemic is on the rise. If you find a citizen collapsed on the street, call the nearest medical station. When you purchase breeders, make sure you provide for your children before you provide for yourselves. We must secure the future.
Environment.
The structural integrity of several housing blocks has been called into question by independent analysts. Ministers of the building authority deny any cause for concern as tower extension projects aimed at elevating the blocks above the smog level have commenced.
Sport.
Yitnan Rune, number 41 of the South Capital Steelbenders, received an award from the Office of the Prime Minister for charitable service yesterday. After the team's victory over the North Capital Forgers, Rune celebrated by purchasing gold-made breathers for each fan in the stadium.
The Capitol building is a short distance from here.
A few pages catch your interest. Economy.
Asteroid mining in the system has revealed a new mineral. Its primary use lies in power generation, and it could serve as a high-energy alternative to chemical and atomic fuel sources currently in use. The Kentar Energy Consortium has secured initial rights to harvesting the mineral known as ardenite.
Environment.
Contrary to reformist propaganda, smog levels are stable and decreasing in some quadrants. Yes, construction teams are receiving contracts, but this will lead to job creation and affordable housing throughout Kentar City. Remember, as upper floors are bought and moved into, the lower floors are made available to others at affordable rates. Looking for an 80th floor view? Soon you'll be able to get one. United, we are strong.
Science.
Recent studies on the connection between unprotected breathing and the so-called smog sickness were inconclusive. Many of the planet's population never wear breathers, and none have been diagnosed with the disease. Remember, eat well and work hard. Staying strong is the only true way to keep from getting ill.
Sport.
Baranu, the Beast Moody, number 15 of the colony feeders, has received more criticism for speaking out against the owners of the various planetary teams. Moody continues to state that the team owners are subjecting the players to horrible living conditions while the owners all live in penthouse suites. Multiple players have gone on the record that their living conditions are fine and they are not being bribed to make these statements. A boycott on all Beast souvenirs is still in effect in most cities, though Moody has yet to be suspended by the Sporting Guild.
Well, this place is a far cry from the smog and squalor we just left, isn't it?
Welcome to New Kentar. I must apologize for the unfortunate incidents that have taken place. You have arrived during a period of social unrest for our people.
This would explain the repeated attacks.
I'm afraid so. The decline of our world has split the Kentari into two factions. The reformists, like myself, who wish to gradually change our way of life for the better, and the traditionalists, who cling tightly to the old ways and all of the destruction that comes with it. The Kentari who attacked you were traditionalist soldiers. They see you, and especially the Lucari, as a threat to their existence.
What danger do we or the Lucari pose to your people?
It's simple. Your kind are well-armed aliens from an advanced culture. To the Trads, you're hostile invaders. And the Lucari? Dangerous anarchists from our distant past, long thought exiled, now returned. And more dangerous than ever. The troubling part is they may be right about all of you.
Such xenophobia is unwarranted, Minister.
Minister Pentaro is in charge of planetary security. It's his job to evaluate all potential threats, foreign and domestic. The idea of working with aliens, with Lucari, will be controversial. That said, our situation is deteriorating. I'm willing to open a dialogue with outside parties.
Such a dialogue will be monitored, however, in the interest of planetary security.
Your suspicion is misplaced, Minister. We had nothing to do with all this.
You're not wrong, Captain. And we realize the need to do something about it. The privileged few are safe above the pollution, but they live on borrowed time. Ecosystems across the planet are failing. We can no longer afford to...
Prime Minister, do you think it's prudent to discuss such matters with these outsiders?
Sedaps to Admiral. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have urgent news. Zenkathi warships are on fast approach to the moon of the planet. Kentari forces are moving to intercept, but they're heavily outgunned. Go to Red Alert. We'll do what we can to help.
Curious. One band of aliens arrives with words of peace, while another arrives bearing the swords of war. How convenient. Coincidence? Or a cunning ruse to weaken our defenses and lower our guard?
The Zenkathi are not our allies, as you'll soon see.
I believe you. Our moon is home to our agricultural sites and thousands of Kentari workers. Your help protecting it will be welcomed by my government. The sooner you can begin, the better.
Beam up. The Kentari have moved to engage the Zenkathi forces, Admiral. They won't last long without us, especially against the Zenkathi flagship. Helm, take us in. All hands, battle stations.
Saving their ships might build some trust with the Kentari. I'm reading concentrations of the crystals targeted by the Zenkathi on the Kentari moon, along with numerous Zenkathi life signs and several protomatter signals. We'd better hurry. They may be preparing to detonate more bombs.
Agreed. Let's get to the moon and stop the Zenkathi.
Get to the moon and stop those bombs, now!
We're too late. Running away.
We detected some sort of intense energy detonation on the moon. We're reading 0 life signs there. No one. They're all gone. What did they do to us? What has happened?
It was a protomatter bomb. It eradicates all organic matter. I'm sorry.
All is not lost, Minister. While we can't bring back the Kentari who were killed, we can help you restore your moon's food production capabilities in short order.
A likely story. For all we know, this is the precursor to invasion. These aliens have destroyed our food and weakened our military, Prime Minister. They mean to conquer us.
That is ridiculous. We just risked our lives to protect you.
Calm yourself, Pentaro, and remember who is Prime Minister here. Captain Kumarke, I accept your proposal, provided there's full oversight from the Ministry of Defense at every stage of the operation. You'll understand our need for such security measures, I'm sure.
I won't let you down, Prime Minister. Have your observation team meet mine on the moon at these coordinates. We'll begin as soon as we're able.
We'll be on Overwatch in case the Zakethi return.
The protomatter emitters are in place. The matrix is stable and primed for effect. Let me know when you want me to initiate the restoration procedure.
Make it so.
Protomatter matrix is stable. We're ready to begin. Initiating primary restoration sequence now.
Something is wrong. Everything just stopped. Why? I don't understand. I checked the settings myself. That moon should be covered with crops by now. I could use some assistance down there. Please join me at the worksite.
Alright, let's begin by configuring the flow regulators at each of the transmission arrays. I'll observe the flow rates while you make the adjustments.
Understood. We'll adjust each of the transmitters.
Curious. Someone made adjustments to the transmitters that could cause a detonation similar to a protomatter bomb. But whoever did it wasn't familiar with Lucari tech. We have safeguards to prevent such a thing, so instead of blowing up, it just didn't work. I hate to say it, but I believe one of the Kantari observers made those adjustments.
Better be sure. Wait, hear that?
Those were traditionalists. I suspect one of their operatives was behind the sabotage here as well. I've locked out access to everyone but you and me. We can make things right without any interference once we return to our ships.
Let's beam up.
All systems are online. We're ready to go. Initiating restoration process now.
Protomatter matrix deployed. Everything's in the green. We did it!
It worked. Our sensors are showing a stable protomatter matrix in the formation of crops at all production sites. We owe you a profound debt of gratitude. Thank you.
Kumarke made this happen. No thanks to the traditionalists.
Their actions have shamed us all, but they will not get away with it, I assure you. Minister Pentaro is looking into it personally. He has sent some ships to escort you back to New Kentar.
We see them. They're on an attack course.
Alien vessels! Surrender or be destroyed!
Fire to disable! This madness has gone on long enough!
You forced my hand. You and your pathetic Lucari bootlicker. It's time to end this. I will make New Kentar safe once more. Safe from you and the rest of the alien filth in the galaxy.
Stand down before more people get hurt, Minister. Final warning.
exile was too good for the Lucari. We should have wiped you out.
I've suspected Pentaro was a traditionalist for some time, but I thought he placed the people before his personal beliefs. I was wrong. His madness nearly killed us all. And for what? Pride, hate, and fear. I wish to formally apologize and thank all of you in person. Under the circumstances, we should meet on one of your vessels. The Rescava, if you're agreeable.
This is a momentous occasion. I'm glad you're here to share it with us. Diplomacy is part of a captain's job, as you know. I hope I'm up for the challenge. Welcome to the Rescava, Prime Minister. I look forward to working together.
Thank you, Captain. Most kind of you after all that's happened. We almost lost everything today. Instead, we can begin to build a better future, thanks to you. There will be resistance from people like Pentaro, but we must continue to look ahead. To that end, we hope to work together with you and your allies.
I'm happy to hear it. Kantari and Lucari have lived apart far too long. We've recently begun to explore beyond our world. Perhaps we can do so together.
Perhaps. We've got a lot of work to do before then, however.
Indeed we do.
Well then, let's get started, shall we?
After all this time, the Kantari are here, alive. I can hardly believe it. This will be quite the revelation back home. Many Lucari do not look fondly upon the great Exodus, or the Kantari who forced it upon us. Still, we may be on a path to reunification, one that lets us rebuild what was lost with the Kantari. I truly hope so.